They thought, hey, we killed him. But they were so dumb. They didn't have no power. Jesus literally gave up his power. He gave up his supremacy. He gave up his royal position in the kingdom of heaven to come down and be like one of us, to save humanity. And at any given moment, he could have called all his power and strength back into his body. He could have called down a legion of angels to wipe everybody out. And he could have gotten off the cross if he wanted to. But he held his composure. He had the ultimate self-control. He held back his power. And had he not gone through that unimaginable, inexplicable ordeal that he suffered, we would all be lost right now. We would be all going to hell for the rest of eternity once this life is over. We wouldn't have a chance at eternity in heaven. They destroyed Jesus's body to the point of unrecognition. They stripped him naked. They beat him in his head. They castrated him. You couldn't tell whether or not he was a man or a woman. His bones were exposed through his back, because when they were whipping him, the whips had nails and hooks on it. So every time the whip was like snatching off of his body, it was ripping off chunks of skin and muscle from his back. They spit on him. They mocked him. They forced a crown of thorns. We're not talking about the little thorns that's on a rose. We're talking about thick, long, probably like nailish type thorns that they formed into a crown, and they forced it on his head. And after all of that torture, he had to carry his own cross. He had to walk miles to carry his own cross. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that being your brother or your father or your uncle or your son? I can't imagine that. He had to carry his own cross to its death destination. Thank God that one man was brave enough who helped him carry the cross the rest of the way. They reached the destination. Mind you, all of this is happening. He's walking through a mob of people who's just yelling and screaming at him and probably saying all types of horrible slurs at him, spitting at him, probably hitting him. They get to the spot and they nail him to the cross, and he can't breathe.